couple years
There
ago,
we go.
many years ago, we said to Marc Alghini, "Hey, Marc Alghini, find us some new music that's cool." And he said, "Okay." And then first of the year, I'll forget to play your theme song. How about that? We do that. It's part of the deal. So, hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm good.
Did you watch that fiasco of the Bears and the
Oh, of course I did.
and the Packers last night?
Of course I did. I guess I just got to wait until tomorrow after the national championship to see what Harbaugh does.
What do you think? What do you mean?
Well, there's talk that he might be the new Bears head coach.
I think he'll go to the Chargers.
What do you think of that? What would you think of Harbaugh being a Bears?
I'd be into it.
I'd be all right with that. Yeah.
Joel Klatt, who's a great college analyst and former athlete, said when he met with Harbaugh, unsolicited, Harbaugh talked for 5 minutes straight about Justin Herbert, quarterback of the Chargers.
Oh, really?
All right. Yeah. But it looks as though from yesterday's game, it was like, oh, let's just pull out the playbook from week 1.
Yeah.
All the other weeks before this game were great.
Did they forget to move him around out of the pocket and get him out?
Knowing Matt Eberflus and what's his name, Lou Getzey, I could see them just going, oh, let's just take the week 1 plan. This time it'll work.
Yeah.
They're just so unprepared.
Maybe they wanted the Packers to win.
Well, then for that alone,
they were coaching for their job because the Bears had been on a roll, but now after
they were horrible coaches. Yeah. Both sides of the ball were horrible.
All right, let's
get
the music. Here we go.
I'm not going to lose any more money on the Bears this year.
Okay, good job.
All right, so Gone But Not Forgotten.
Yeah.
In our 2-week little absence, Les McCann, legendary soul jazz pianist back in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
His music was sampled by hundreds of hip-hop artists.
Really?
Through the day. Dre, Tribe Called Quest, Notorious B.I.G., De La Soul, Puffy, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige. He was just that kind of, he had that groove.
He had a groove. Can we hit a groove?
Yeah, we can hit a groove.
That's it here.
Slaughterhouses are killing hoes, twisted children are killing crows, poor dumb rednecks rolling low, tired old ladies kissing the doors. I hate the human love of that stinking mud. I can't use it, trying to make it real compared to what.
It was a big protest song back in the 60s.
How have I not known this?
Oh, isn't that great?
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, Les McCann is awesome.
That's in my wheelhouse.
On New Year's Day, I always kind of like listen to old jazz records and kind of clear my mind. And obviously this year, Les was the man.
How old was Les? He's
like 88, 89, something like that.
He's what you describe as a cool cat.
Oh, very cool cat.
Very cool cat.
Very cool cat.
Right.
And then I guess we switched to a 70s cool cat, David Soul.
Yeah, went to school in Chicago at Washington High School and then went to Augustana.
He went to Augustana?
Yeah, and then to Minnesota. No, then up to Minnesota. But he first couple of years at Augustana.
Wow. and people will remember him mainly as Hutch in Starsky and Hutch.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Something I learned over his death weekend, the conversation, is that show was only on the air for 4 years.
It was such a great show.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
We loved it. It was right in all of our
Now,
wheelhouse.
in high school, we used to go to parking lots. This is, I wouldn't recommend this to kids today.
Yeah.
But I used to be able to do the Starsky rollover cars.
Like roll over the hood?
Running full speed, roll, and just run,
My brother,
the forest preserves in Cook County?
I had a buddy in high school.
No, Woodfield Mall.
All right.
I had a buddy in high school. His name is Orville. And Orv had a Caprice Classic.
Yeah.
It was blue.
Yeah.
He decided he was going to paint it to look like the Starsky and Hutch car.
Nice.
And he did it with a paintbrush.
Oh, no.
And let me tell you how good that looks. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. That was so great. I loved it.
I'm always looking for my best friend I can call Huggy Bear.
So he's still around out there.
Yeah, Huggy Bear is still alive.
Now, David Soul had one hit. Here it is.
He had one hit.
Give up on us, baby. We're still worth one more try. I know we put a last one by. Just for
all right. I'm glad he had just the one. It was all right. It's okay.
All I remember is like being my grandfather's Ford LTD with the heat blasting at like 95, and it's like May, and him listening to a radio station, and that song would come on. I'd be like, oh my God.
Well, here's the deal.
And of course, Dan will appreciate this. Me and my grandfather went around Chicago visiting the graves.
Oh, you're going to see the graves.
Seeing all the graves.
Your family. Yeah.
He took me to go see the circus train. Remember when the circus train?
Oh, yeah.
And they had the grave of all the animals.
Yeah.
He
Now,
loved showing me that.
The fact of the matter is, David Soul was kind of a sex symbol at the time.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was
It was
very- He
1976.
was very handsome, and the
Starsky
women
and
loved
Hutch was
him.
happening.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's your gone but not forgotten
All
this
right.
year.
What else we got?
And then we got new music. Liam Gallagher of Oasis from the 90s.
Okay.
Big band in the 90s out of the UK. The band broke up. The brothers, just like typical brothers in rock and roll, they fought. They still fight. They will never get back together.
Mm-hmm.
So Liam Gallagher has teamed up with a guy named John Squire, who was in a UK band called the Stone Roses. And they have a new album out, and this is called Just Another Rainbow.
Not digging it.
Really? It was
Really?
very magical mystery tour.
I like it. It sounds like real 60s, 70s.
Yeah, the Oasis has always had this kind of like psychedelic Beatles influence. The
Yeah, that's
Magical
what that
Mystery
sounds
Tour,
like, yeah.
and it's kind of like a throwback to that.
All right.
sound.
This is what I'm more after.
Worth one more try.
Turn the heat off, Grandpa.
I tell you, you couldn't go from a different level from
Than
Les
those two songs.
McCann.
Yeah, those three.
Yeah.
All right. Now you had a fourth one in the mix, and
Yeah, and I'm trying to think if I
get it.
and
So what?
I want to do, but I'm trying to think if I actually played this woman because I was like going down my wormhole of music, which
Sure.
I always do, and I bumped into this, and I was like, oh, let me check this out. And I was like blown away, and I'm like, oh, I've got to do this one, even though the record's like 2 years old. And I'm like, oh, I've never done this. I missed stuff. Let's put it in there.
All right.
And then on my way over here, I'm going, I think I did this.
All right.
She is from Rochester, New York.
All right.
She was a public defender up
Okay.
until like 2016. And then she decided, I'm just going to be a singer. I mean, I guess it
Yeah.
pays the same rate. Nothing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But she's wild. She's really good.
What's her
Danielle
name?
Ponder.
All right. Let's hear it.
Someone like you. Someone like you. Someone like you. Oh, I want the stars alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad she chose to leave law.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
So yeah,
really
basically,
good.
like I heard this and I'm like, oh, I got to put this in. And then I'm like going, did I send this? And I'm like, and I don't keep records, unfortunately.
Right.
And I wasn't going to hit Kayla up going, hey, can you look back through the archives of the last 3 years and see
You know,
if I did this?
if she would sing your defense in court, the judge would go,
you'd win.
"Ah, he's
You'd win.
not guilty."
Hey,
Yeah.
real quick, I do want to. I liked all that stuff today. The Bradley game on Saturday.
Yes.
So the DJ is DJ McFly. He's
Yeah,
a friend
know
of
him.
ours,
I
yeah.
know him.
And so they've been messing around with how it sounds and so on and so forth.
Because people say it's too loud.
Well,
in there.
they're back up to being loud again.
Good.
So it's good.
Good.
But musical selections. He at halftime, I'm standing up, stretching my legs, and I hear Barry White.
Nice.
And I flip. I am so happy. And I have, he's my friend, so I have his cell phone.
Yeah.
I text him. I see him way across the stadium, look at his watch. And then he looked at me and he went, like, he put his hands up. I was like, yes, sir. Bring Barry. And then he played another Barry White. And then he played the theme from Shaft at one point. That was actually during the game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in a timeout.
Yeah.
And so he had to stop Shaft just as the whistle started again.
Yeah.
It sounds good. He doesn't.
But Fly's got good taste.
He's got a
And
good.
supposedly he's a good barber.
He's a very good barber. Yeah, / barber / DJ.
Yeah, you know, and that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what you do. It's good to see you,
All
man.
right, guys.
Have a great rest of your week. That's Marc Alghini.